Welcome to Spectrum TV News at 12. I am Uyai Anyekan, coming to you live from Uyo, the capital city of Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria. Let's take a look at the headlines. President Tinubu directs NEC to work on palliatives for subsidy removal. Federal government prepares ground for implementation of sustainability reporting for private sector by 2024. Plus, UN nuclear watchdog to strengthen presence at Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant. We'll bring you details of these stories and more in a moment. Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. First in the news, Nigeria's leader, President Bola Tinubu, who has directed the National Economic Council (NEC), led by Vice President Kashim Shettima, to devise an approach and begin the process of after leading some major oil marketers on a courtesy visit to the president at the State House. While speaking to the newsmen after the meeting, Governor Abiodun, who was a former chairman of the Oil Marketers Association, stated that the marketers expressed solidarity with the president for removing the 4 trillion naira subsidy burden, a move that can enhance the Federation Account Allocation Committee (FAAC) allocation to states. The group of marketers who visited the president announced their intention to donate between 50 to 100-seater mass transit buses to help the masses. Meanwhile, President Tinubu has appealed to the All-Blue ahead of the inauguration of the 10th Senate on Tuesday, June 13. According to a former presidential aspirant, Adamu Garba, Tinubu made the appeal while addressing over 40 APC senators-elect led by Senator Akpabio at the Aso Rock Villa. Garba, in a tweet, said Tinubu asked the senators-elect to toe the lines of the party's zoning arrangement in electing their presiding officers, stressing that it is the right thing to do in support of the renewed hope agenda of his administration. Recall that the APC had last Senator Jubrin Baru from Northwest as preferred candidate for Deputy Senate President. Moving away from that, the federal government has inaugurated the Adoption Readiness Working Group (ARWG) for the implementation of sustainability reporting standards, which is to be issued by the International Sustainability Standards Board (ISSB). The implementation would begin with the general requirements for disclosures of sustainability-related financial information (IFRS) S1 and subsequently the climate-related disclosures. It said both standards are expected to be launched globally on June 26, 2023, while implementation would commence on January 1, 2024. Speaking at the inauguration of the working group, the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, Evelyn Ngige, noted that Nigeria would be the first to adopt the reporting benchmarks in Africa and one of the earliest adopters in the world. From the Red Chambers, the Senate has passed the bill for the establishment of a police pension board. This followed the recent exit from the contribution pension scheme by the National Assembly workers. However, pension operators have said the expected funding provided in the police bill could not be sustained by the government if it was approved. According to them, the bill excludes the Nigeria Police Force from the contributory pension scheme and returned the force to the old defined benefit scheme. Meanwhile, industry stakeholders said it will cost the federal government 2 trillion naira pension liabilities to cater to about 300,000 police personnel. They added that the bill would make the federal government to fully fund the pensions for the police as opposed to the CPS that requires contributions from workers and employees. From the Green Chambers, The House of Representatives has said it considered a total of 2,232 bills in the last 4 years, out of which 2,000 were passed. The chairman of the House Committee on Rules and Business, Abubakar Fulata, reeled out statistics showing the performance of the Ninth House at the valedictory session of the chamber. Fulata highlighted the bills to include those sponsored by members of the House, bills presented by the executive arm of the government, usually through the President, and bills passed by the Senate and transmitted to the House for concurrence. He added that the Ninth Assembly is the most productive of all the assemblies in the history of the National Assembly. On Saturday, Nigerian governors have backed President Bola Tinubu's decision to end fuel subsidy payments in the country. The governors, who spoke during a visit to the presidential villa, expressed happiness at the president's subsidy removal decision, all-inclusive leadership and statesmanship. Led by its chairman Abdulrahman Abdulrazak of Kwara State, the Nigerian Governors Forum (NGF) commended Tinubu for tackling the fuel subsidy behemoth, promising to work with him to ameliorate the short-term impact of the decision. The governors also highlighted the plight of citizens in their state, assuring the president of their support in preferring solutions through the National Economic Council (NEC).
Government after government attempted to remove subsidy on petroleum products right from 1999 till date, and it has not been 100% successful. After all, subsidy has been removed from AGO, and today 70% of the houses in various metropolis have generators installed for a source of energy. Now, what Mr. President did during the inauguration, he did not direct that subsidy should be removed. We already agreed as a government and in the National Economic Council that subsidizing petroleum products is no longer sustainable. Because for the past 2 years, we have been borrowing to subsidize. It has gotten to a point that it is either that which is no longer sustainable is managed, or there will be no Nigeria. The refinery in Cameroon is not working for the past 5 years, yet PMS is cheaper in Cameroon than in Nigeria. Refinery in Togo is not working, yet petroleum products in Togo is cheaper than it is in Nigeria. So you import, subsidized by our government, and then you sell at half the price through smuggling to all these countries, all in the name of ordinary Nigerians. So let us see how best, because the global economic situation today is near strangulation. We work out ways of making sure that the product will be available through the private sector initiative. Government after government attempted to remove subsidy on petroleum products right from 1999 till date, and it has not.
In a separate development, the Nigeria Export Promotion Council (NEPC) management has refuted claims of being summoned by the House of Representatives panel to come and explain the status of $1.67 billion crude oil revenue. NEPC, in a statement, described the online publications as false and capable of misleading the public and stakeholders in the non-oil export sector. The head NEPC's corporate communication, Ndubueze Okeke, stated that the council's statutorily mandate is to develop and promote the diversification of the economy through the export of non-oil products and services. In another development, the hydrocarbon pollution remediation project HYPREP has expressed concern that plastic pollution was an emerging threat to mangroves in the Niger Delta region. It stated it would soon commence the shoreline cleanup and mangrove restoration of oil-impacted areas in Ogoniland. The HYPREP coordinator Nebarani Zabi noted that plastics do not only suffocate and kill mangrove biodiversity, but also impact local livelihoods and compromises mangroves' capacity to sequester and mitigate climate change. In preferring solutions to plastic pollution, the HYPERB boss recommended a reduction in plastic production and consumption and the promotion of sustainable alternatives and reusable products. In education, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has rolled out modalities for the absorption of returnee students from war-torn countries into Nigerian universities. According to the body, the modalities include high-level meeting between the Federal Ministry of Education, Federal Ministry of Health, Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, Nigeria and Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, National Universities Commission, NUC, and other critical stakeholders on the integration of returnee Nigerian students from war-torn countries into the nation's tertiary education system. The Registrar of JAMB, Professor Aisha Oloyede, while presenting the modalities at a virtual meeting with vice-chancellors of Nigerian universities and other critical stakeholders, said it was imperative to hold talks with the vice-chancellors following the peculiarities of each university and the variation in the responses received from them on the matter. The registrar pointed out that the emergency meeting was therefore convened to fashion out uniform standards and minimum acceptable benchmarks for the proposed absorption in line with global best practices. He also stated that the Senate of each university had the right to decide on university transfers and needed not to wait for JAMB to initiate such, adding that the parley with the stakeholders was to present the modalities for critique as well as receive input. We move now to Africa, where UN Under-Secretary General for Peace Operations Jean Larioux has said that peacekeepers should withdraw from the Democratic Republic of Congo (DRC) as quickly as possible, yet responsibly. Speaking in the capital Kinshasa during a visit to the DRC, Larioux said the Congolese state should step up its response to the armed groups that is reportedly plaguing the east of the country, while noting the frustration the insecurity is causing the peacekeeping mission. According to Larioux, the public has been concerned by the violence that occurred during recent demonstrations, and it is essential to put an end to the crisis. Reports say the UN peacekeeping force in the Democratic Republic of Congo, known as MONUSCO, is one of the largest and the costliest in the world, with an annual budget of $1 billion, and has been present in the country since 1999. Still in Africa, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa is reportedly due to lead a delegation of government leaders to a township north of the capital, Pretoria, where there was a reported case of deadly outbreak of cholera. Ramaphosa said the outbreak had caused devastation and government agencies had been working on measures to contain the spread of the disease. Reports say his visit follows the death of at least 26 people, mostly members of the Pretoria, the epicenter of the outbreak. According to reports, more than 130 residents have been treated for the waterborne disease. On the foreign scene, UN nuclear watchdog has said that the International Atomic Energy Agency IAEA will strengthen its presence at the Russian-occupied Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant next week. According to a statement by the IAEA, a new and larger team will replace the group currently at the plant in southern Ukraine when Director Rafael Grossi visits the facility next week. Recall that Russia captured the nuclear plant in March last year, but is reportedly operated mainly by Ukrainian staff. Still on the foreign scene, Australia has announced that it will introduce a new national ban on alleged Nazi symbols in an effort to crack down on far-right groups. The Attorney General Mark Dayforth, while announcing the new legislation, said there is no place in Australia for symbols that glorify the horrors of the Holocaust. Reports say public displays of the swastika, an ancient religious and cultural symbol, as well as SS symbols, will be punishable by up to a year imprisonment. Still to come in the news. West Ham beats Fiorentina to win Europa Conference League. Do stay with us for details after this timeout.
Your attention, please.
Uyo, listen up. Igbo Air is turning 4, and we are turning up. With a first of its kind drive-in cinema featuring our world record breaker Hilda Bassi live in Uyo, Nollywood stars Imeb Bishop, Iniedo, and Chidi Mokeme. Also featuring Kenny Black, Dan Dizzy, Ikbaudo, and lots more performances. Side attractions include stunts by bikers and BMW Club. There'll be light painting and graffiti wall. It's a cruise party. Date is Friday, 9th of June 2023. Venue is a car park Tropicana Entertainment Center, Uyo. Time, red carpet and main event 5 p.m. while the movie is 8 p.m. prompt. Proudly supported by Guinness, BMW, Jameson Irish Whiskey, Cold Stone, Tropicana Mall, Ibom Icon Hotel and Golf Resort, Domino's Pizza, DreamWorks Direct, Iwalewa Art Gallery, and many more. This event is strictly by invitation. Stay tuned to this platform and all Ibom Air social media platforms for more information. Ibom Air, flying forward. This event is powered by Clola Media.
Many thanks for staying tuned, and now to the rest of the news. On our business news, the World Bank has said that high interest rates and the Russian war in Ukraine continue to significantly slow global economic growth. According to its latest forecast, the global economy will slow to 2.1% in 2023, which 0.4 percentage points higher than its estimate released in January. The World Bank chief economist Indemit Gill disclosed that the growth rate is one of the weakest in the past 5 decades. Still in business, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company NNPCL has confirmed that once the Dangote refinery starts pumping out refined petrol, reports say NNPCL is currently the sole importer of petrol into Nigeria, a task which it had shouldered for several years. The national oil firm spokesperson Gabardine Mohammed said once the 650,000 barrels per day crude oil production commences in August, importation of petroleum products will cut down and the needed energy security for the country will be provided. We move now to health, where the European Commission (EU) says it will support various mental health initiatives across the globe with 1.23 billion euros, an equivalent of $1.32 billion. The president of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, in a press release, noted that the Commission is aiming to put mental health at par with physical health by focusing on prevention, access to mental health care, treatment and reintegration after recovery. Speaking in the same vein, the EU Health Commissioner Stella Kyriakides said it will break down stigma and discrimination so that those in need can reach out and receive the support they need. The Health Commissioner added that the move came after the COVID-19 pandemic negatively affected the psychological well-being of many Europeans. Still in health, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention (NCDC) has said that the country needs a peacetime health system to be better prepared for the next pandemic. The Director General of the NCDC, Dr. Ifedayo Adetifa, said this in Abuja at the Institute of Human Virology, Nigeria, and the International Research Center of Excellence Scientific Seminar. He noted there was a need for the development of libraries for rapid diagnostic, therapeutic and vaccine development in anticipation of disease, adding that there is also a need for the country to intensify its approaches to health promotion, disease prevention and emergency response. In sports, West Ham ended their 43-year wait for a major trophy as Jarrod Bowen scored a last-minute goal to beat Fiorentina 2-1 and win the Europa Conference League in Prague. The final seemed to be heading to extra time after Brenthammer's second-half penalty was cancelled out just 7 minutes later by a well-taken effort from Giacomo. The victory seals a place for West Ham in next season's Europa League and means European football for the third year running for the first time in the club's history. Still in sports, Lionel Messi has revealed that he left Paris Saint-Germain because he was not happy during his 2-year stint at the club. The Argentina World Cup winner, in an interview, disclosed that his time at the French club had affected his family and needs to be put first. Reports say this comes after Messi was announced as an Inter Miami player. On our entertainment news, the duo of Nigerian singers Divine Ikubo and David Adeleke, popularly known as Rema and Davido, have debuted songs on Spotify's 2023 Songs of Summer predictions. Davido made this known on social media, expressing his excitement about the prediction. Reports say Rema's song with American superstar Selena Gomez, Calm Down, and Unavailable from Davido's latest album, Timeless, were the only African songs predicted by Spotify to blow up charts this summer. Movie thespian shared the news on his Instagram page. Reports say the film, which is reportedly set in an ancient Yoruba city, will feature Adekola alongside Adekola, the cast of Femi Adebayo, Shafi Bello, Jide Kosoko, and Dele Odule, among others, and will be available in cinemas from July 21st, 2023. And that's all we have for you at this time. Do well to follow us on social media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, spectrumtv.ng. We encourage you to drive the conversation on our Twitter handle, SpectrumT_Online. We love to get feedback from you for all we do at Spectrum Television. You have been watching Spectrum TV News at 12. I am Uyai Anyeka. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.